All right, welcome back, everybody. Mark here from Home Slots. We're going to do a technical video today. We're going to tackle two different problems. So the first thing is this G23. I have reloaded it because I put it back into the vertical monitor, and I want to load games on it that are good for the vertical monitor, like Top Dollar, Pinball, CSI, and some others. So I'm going to actually video the process of setting up a G23 from scratch. These are very popular machines for home use. They're really getting out there now. Because you can play multiple games on it. So if you're ever curious about how to completely refresh the machine and install new games, this is a good video for you. The second thing that we're going to tackle is this Lord of the Rings. Now, the game is working perfectly, except the LED backlit reels are no longer working, and it's driving me nuts. So they started to fade out over time, and now they're just completely blank, and it's been that way for a couple weeks. I thought at first it was a reel. I swapped the reel out that has known working LED backlights, and still no problem, or still the problem exists. So that means that it's probably the real controller board. So we're going to swap that out. I have another one. We'll see if that solves the issue. As with anything slot machine related, you swap one part out and then another problem occurs. So who knows? Let's see if that happens to us or not. Hopefully not, but if so, we'll tackle it then. All right, guys, let's get started. Let's get our hands dirty, get our gloves on and all that kind of stuff. I don't really use the gloves. I just like getting scars, battle scars on my hands. Anyway, guys, let's get started and let's have some fun. All right, guys, let's first start on the Lord of the Rings here. As I said, the backlit reels are no longer working. It plays just fine, but unfortunately, I like to have the LED backlit reels. It really makes it pop. So we need to figure out the problem. Like I said, I know it's not the actual LEDs themselves because they're working just fine. So we're going to swap out the real controller board and see if that makes a difference. So let's go ahead and open her up here. And power off. As anytime you're working inside a machine like this, make sure you power off first. It is so easy to short things out. And you have so much electricity on your fingers and all that kind of stuff. It's so easy. If you do have a wristband, electrostatic discharge wristband, I always recommend using that. What I do here is, because I am, running through carpet, so I do build up some static charges. I just touch metal on the side of the machine and make sure I don't have any static. But usually, if you have the machine off, you're usually in pretty good shape. So we're going to take the real controller board out. As I said, this little thing right here. These are the actual ribbons to each of the reels, the three reels. So this is a three-reel game, so there's three of those. And then this one has two Cat 5 or Cat 6 Ethernet cables. Just like that, just like you would see like a network cable. Now, most of your machines probably only have one, and that's because this one uses a different kind of hard metering. So this has meters that count up. It actually plugs directly into the real controller board, where some actually plug into the backplane, but this one's a little bit different. So you may only have one of these plugged in, and that's fine. Just depends on the type of BB2 that you have. All right, so we got those unplugged. We need to unplug these three here, so let me go ahead and do that. They're just three little Molex connectors here. And these are a real pain in the butt, let me tell you. I pinch my fingers a lot. If you do end up pinching your fingers a lot, you can use a screwdriver to kind of hold the little tab in, or some pliers. That would help. So if one's fighting you, do that instead of wrecking your fingers. All right, so we got all that. And then the last thing is the power. So there's a power Molex in the back here. Looks like that, so we're going to take that out. So once we get all three of those, there's a little bracket or a little doohickey here. I don't know the name of it. Just pull it down and then pull this out, and it'll come straight towards you. All right, so this is a real controller board, and it's built to have up to 5 reels. As you know, a lot of BB2 games have 5 reels, so you just need one single controller board for that. So let me get the replacement one I have. I wrote good with a check mark on here because I just pulled it out of the Willy Wonka, so I know it's working. But we'll see what happens here. So let me go ahead and slide this in. And this is going to be a little bit of a pain. I got to get on my knees here so I can get in here. All right, so do the power.
This is the top result.
I'm not talking to you, Google. All right, let me make sure I get these right. So this is number 1. And because I'm recording, I don't have my flashlight here because I usually use my phone, but I think I can get all these in here. Not too much trouble. All right, so number 1 and number 2 are in. Just need to put number 3. Hope you're enjoying the back of my head. It's not easy to do camera work and move it around and stuff. I'm just trying to get through this. This one's giving me problems. It's hard when they don't. This is a black on black, meaning the connector and the Molex is black, so it's really hard to see where they line up. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, and then I need to plug my 2 Cat 5 cables in. They could be Cat 6, I'm not sure. All right. All right, so we've replaced that. Let's go ahead and turn the machine on, and this will be a long boot up process, so I will probably speed it up here. All right, so while it's doing its thing, I'll just speed up the video here, save you guys some time. All right, guys, so we're getting close here. Fix the camera a little bit. Go ahead and close the door because I'm going to complain about that here in a second. All right, while we're waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and start loading the games on this G23. I've already loaded the OS on it, so I just need to load the games now. And again, just make sure that you have the license keys for these games. You can load more than one, but you have to have the license key in order to play them, so just keep that in mind. We try to stay legit here. All right, so I'm going to put the games in. It should detect it and start loading it. And I'm already a little concerned this BB2 has not come up yet. It seems to be stuck. So it doesn't like something. All right, while it's loading that, let's go over here and take a look here. So it should have gone past this by now. Great, it's not giving any errors either. So another way is to turn the jackpot reset key, and I'm still not getting any errors, which is very odd. Usually by now we'd have some kind of issue come up. Yeah. Diagnostic switch is not working either. So it's panicking about something. Let's go ahead and do a clear on it real quick. Let me just power off. I guess maybe it's possible that you can't swap that out without doing a clear. I highly doubt it though, but in my experience, if something is just not working right or you're not getting any error output, it's always best to do a clear first. Just make it easy on you. All right, so what I'm doing is putting the clear card in. I remove the game card and also the OS card, and we only want the clear card in there. I'm gonna power back on here and let it do its clear. See what I mean, guys? It's always something. It's never easy sometimes. It's all about the diagnostics and troubleshooting. Now the reels are working because they're jiggling, so the real controller board is functional. At least that part of it is. All right, so it's going to say clearing RAM down here in a second, and then we just need to wait for it to say finished. It'll say power down and replace the OS card. All right, so please power down and put in OS flash. So now we turn the machine off. I'm going to take the clear card out and put the OS card back in, and then also push the game card back in as well. All right, and turn it back on. Now this is going to take a long time as well, so I'm going to pause this time and I'll come right back whenever it's all back to the configuration. All right, hang tight, guys. All right, guys, we're getting close here. All right, so now I'm going to go through this fast. I have other videos on how to go through all the settings, but for the sake of just trying to get to the issue, we're going to try to fix this real quick. So we got to set the time first. Okay, we just need to wait for the progressive controller to get caught up here. All right, it just did. So now I can close the door. And let's see if this solves our issue. If it does say call attendant on the screen, give it a couple more minutes, especially on the first run. They usually will disappear. If it stays on for longer than 10 minutes, you can turn the jackpot reset key to see what it's actually complaining about. Funny enough, you actually get a blue screen of error, a blue screen of death, just like in Windows. Guess that's a universal way to say there's a problem. All right, I want to give it one more minute, and if it's still showing it, we'll open the door and turn the key and see what's going on. Well, we might have to wait on the G23. I think this might take up all our time here, trying to figure out what's going on here. All right, I'm getting impatient. I want to see what it's complaining about here. So let's open the door. Mechanical reels command timeout. That's odd because they're responding. All right, let me make sure that the Ethernet cable, I'm going to turn it off because I got to reach my hand in here. So I'm going to power off. Unfortunately, that means another boot up process, but I'm going to make sure that these Ethernet cables are fully connected here. That one looks good there. Let me just move it over one just in case it's a bad plug. It shouldn't be though. And then trace this one to make sure this one's good. If you have a mechanical reels timeout and the reels are actually jiggling like that, then it's a communication error with the backplane. It's not a problem with the reels themselves. God, it is such a mess in here. Get some of this out of the way here. Okay, I've got to get the Tito out of here because it is now touching metal, and I don't want it to do that. I don't have it mounted. See, the problem with these games that have progressives and light controllers and stuff like that is it gets really messy down in here. And they never really did come out with a good way to store all this stuff and to mount it. This is the light controller box here. God, what a mess. I hate this. I might want to try to clean this up at some point. All right, I just want to make sure that's not touching metal. All right, let's power back on and see what happens here. I mean, I assume that real controller board is good because I just pulled it out of Willy Wonka. But I am not sure now what's going on. We'll see if this doesn't work. I'll put the other one back in and make sure that this one still works. without the LED working, obviously the LEDs. And maybe I just need to get another one. I've already checked the part numbers. They're exactly the same. So I'm not sure what's going on. I guess something happened to it when I pulled it. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Close here, moment of truth. I just realized I actually have another real controller board in the Flintstones over there, so worst case I can pull it out of that one. I just don't want to, like, if it's something this machine is doing and it's shorting it out, I don't want to go through a bunch of these. I don't think they're too expensive if I can find them, but still, I'm not a fan of going through parts for no reason. I think it might be stuck on the same here. Mechanical reels, command timeout. Could be mistaken, but I thought there should be reels. Maybe it doesn't see them for some reason. It's very, very interesting. Yeah. That's odd. It can see them. Very strange. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm not going to finish the video yet. I'm just going to pause it. I've got some stuff I got to take care of today, but I think what I'll do is I'll take the real controller out of the Flintstones and throw it in here and see what happens. And hopefully there's not something with this machine. And I might try to clean that wiring mess out too, so I can clearly see where things are going, to see if there's some issue with that. Anyway, guys, this is part of the fun. Hey, it's unplanned, but hey, this is what happens sometimes. So, all right, hang tight, and I will be back to finish this off shortly. All right, guys, I am back. So we are going to do what I suggested, which was to take the real controller board out of the working Flintstones, because I know that one's good for sure, 100%. And so let's try to put this one in the Lord of the Rings and see if this solves the problem. Now, I went ahead and ordered another one of these just in case that ends up being the truth. And so let's go ahead and plug this in, and then while we're waiting on this to boot and everything, we are going to move over to the G23 and start working on that to get that all set up. So let me go ahead and get in here and do the hard part, which is plugging these all back in again. Ah, come on, Mark. Shouldn't be this hard to put it in there. There we go. Okay. All right. Let me get the power. Okay, and then each of the reels. This is the part I hate the most, obviously. All right, let me get down so I can see better. Sometimes I can do these really fast, but sometimes it takes a while to get find the sweet spot here. And it's just because they made it. There we go. That's because they made it dark. Of course, I put it in the wrong one. Jesus. The struggles are real, guys. All right, there we go. And number 1. Like I was saying, it's because they made it so dark. Like I like the white Molex because it's easy to have some contrast to work with. But these are both dark, and so without a light shining right on it, it's hard to see. There we go. You just kind of have to feel for it, and then push it in. All right, and then reel 3. All right, that's in there, and then we need the 2 Cat 6 and Cat 5 cables. One goes to the like I said, one goes to the back plane for the actual reels to control the reels, and the other one in this machine goes to the metering. All right, so that is all snug in there. Let's power it on. Fingers crossed. And so since that's going to be a long boot up process, let's switch on over here. Move this chair out of the way to our G23. So I've got the OS loaded on. I've got the games all loaded on. We just need to go through the configuration here. So I'm going to turn the jackpot key twice. And then I need to put the E key in. This is what the E key looks like. These can't be duplicated. You have to buy them as they are. I do have 2 more of these left. If any of you have G23s and need something, or I need an E key, I will sell it to you. They're kind of pricey, just kind of a heads up. So let me go ahead and put that into the brain box down here. And then we'll go through this process here. So we don't need to calibrate the touchscreen because I know it's working good, but you can go test and you can kind of see, make sure it's tracking correctly. And I'll turn the key to exit that. All right, so nothing to change here. I never set the date and time. It's not really necessary. Not for home use anyway. Nothing to change there. Serial number, I usually set to 1. And then the asset tag number I set to 1. This is for the ticket in, ticket out. And then I set the model, which is a G23. That's not really necessary anymore either, but I just kind of force a habit. I still set it. All right, so here is where we actually get to show which denominations we want possible on this machine. So I'm going to enable the ones that I usually do. And you'll see where this comes into play a little later. Whoops. Of course, I didn't save, so I got to do that again. $5, $5, 10, 25, and 100. Okay. Save that. I don't think there's anything else here. Nope. Okay. And these are cash limits. So machine credit limit, I always set to 1 million. Set this to 100,000. Just basically max it out so we don't have to run into issues with it saying can't accept ticket because there's not enough, you'll overdo your funds. And then this is where you force the hand pay of 1,200 or 1,200 or more. So we're going to keep that the same there. And nothing else here. Nothing on progressive because we're not going to be playing progressive games. And here's where I enabled the slot games. So these are the 2 back to the features. I'm not going to enable those right now because those have to be enabled by themselves. And remember, you have to have license keys installed for these to work. Let's see, CSI. Let's set that at a penny. And here's where you can set the payback percentage. So these are the different game tables that are available for this game. So we'll go with 96. This is a home use, so I always set them to the highest possible. This is the 2 credit. So this is 3 reel, 1 line, top dollar. Let's put that one at Well, you know what? Let's put that one at 100. 97% payback. And then this is the 5-line version. I like to change this one to 25 credit max and set this one at $5. Now, when they're blacked out like that, it means it's not possible in this game to use that payback percentage. All right, Godzilla, we'll just set to pennies. And Pinball, we'll multiply. This one we can set up multiple denominations, so I'm going to do that. And we're getting close on the BB2. Fingers crossed. Hopefully that is all the issue is. Let's do 5. I think that was. I think it's going to work. So let me finish this and we'll go back over there to that. And finally, I have my top dollar reel multiplay. I'm going to set that up the same as the Pinball. Come on, there we go. Enable. Okay, so we've set up the games. Nothing here. Now this next screen is how I set up the ticket in, ticket out. So mine is on COM 2. And the way you can tell that is inside. So you need this little board here. And you can look and it says COM channel 2 in the back there. So that's how you know which COM to use. Get the glare of the light out of the way there. Sorry about that. Address is always 1. And then we go to next. And then, whoops, I have to go to advanced. Protocol enabled, yes. And then go to next and go to voucher in and out. Then here, change this to system. Accept vouchers and print vouchers. Yes and yes. And then legacy bonusing. This is so I can push the cash out button and add credits to the machine. So it's kind of a cool feature. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go in and mess with the volume a little bit. It's in machine, volume. Actually, you know what? That's actually pretty good. I forgot the defaults are pretty good on here. So I will exit and take out the E key, put the latch back on the CPU door and close the door. And then I need to put the bottom door back on. And close the machine. We should be good. And I think we have success in Lord of the Rings now because it's not going to where it was before. So I suspect if we close this, we'll be in luck and we'll have backlit reels again. Hopefully. And we do. Look at that. Nice and bright now. All right. All right. Success on the Lord of the Rings. Thanks for giving me a heart attack, guys. All right. So that just means I need a new reel controller board, and I already have one on the way. So I'll this one will just be down until that one comes in. I guess I can put the one in that the LED backlights don't work, but you know, what's the fun in that, I guess. All right, guys. Well, this is going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed kind of a technical overview of what I do whenever machines break. It's a lot of just troubleshooting, and it always helps to have extra parts on hand. That really makes a big difference because I'm able to swap out and use that to diagnose and troubleshoot. And then our G23 is all set to go. We've got Godzilla on there right now, which is a really fun game. If you want me to play that one, just let me know and I'll put a video out for it. All right, guys, we'll take it easy. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.